let's have a chat about how to correct problems with your children when you are an adult or a parent. So, in some communities, they feel that physical altercations with their child is the best way to, solve problems, to correct behaviors by spanking them, screaming at them, by raising up their voice, because that will tell them, or that will resolve the issue. However, in some communities and cultures even, they say, you know what, we don't want to do the physical, the spanking, the hitting, the screaming. We don't want that. We want to show the child what they did was wrong and reward their good behavior. I can understand. It's not necessarily the nicest, but it's sure as heck the easiest to just spank your child, to scream at their child, to wiggle your finger in their face. Especially if you're in a grocery store and you're stressed, you're tired, you don't want to deal with it, so you just get angry at your child. Tell them to stop it. You be curt with them. Or you could take a step back, take a breath and say, okay, my child is tired, I'm tired, we're all stressed up, but if I emotionally respond to my child, they're not going to learn. They will not learn that what they're doing is bad. They may have an older sibling that says, Mom says, don't do it. I could go into a whole video about that, which I will a little later on when I have more time to go into that with why usually when an older sibling that says, hey, Johnny, don't do that, Mommy said so. That's why Johnny will then listen to his older sister and say, okay, Mommy says I cannot do that, so I will not do that. I will go into a video about that in the future. However, when you spank your child, do you think your child is learning not to do that behavior? Quick, easy question. No, they're not. You're only enforcing just a repetition of that behavior. When you physically, when you have a physical altercation with your child, when you're screaming at them, yelling at them, their minds are at an emotional state to where they don't even realize why you're yelling at them in the first place. They don't understand. They don't get it. If you sit there and you spank them all day long for every bad thing they do, bang, 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 is that helping the child? Or is that just relieving stress from you? Because you're so stressed out, you want to take it out on something, right? You want to take it out on your kid because they're doing something bad. That's not the answer. You're a parent. Now I know it could be different if your child is now a teenager and they're copping an attitude at you, right? Copping an attitude, they're getting all pissy. Sorry for the language, but they're just getting on you. Heck, I do it too. Even though I'm 21 years old, I still have a little bit of angst. We all do. We all get built up with stress and emotion. We just let it out. We project our feelings onto the outside world, particularly target certain individuals. We most likely do not target our friends because we feel if we do that, we're then going to make our friends upset, and we don't want to do that. So who do we target next? We target our parents. If our parents aren't around, we target our siblings, which is why sibling abuse is the most prevalent abuse. Again, another video. I know I have lots of ideas for videos. Woo! Alright, back to the topic at hand. If your child, adolescent, young adult is, just causing you stress and you're overwhelmed with emotion. You're tired. I understand you're tired, man. I get it. You have a hard day. We're working 12 hours. It's hard. You just wanna go home and have that wine and cheese, right? Just wanna relax. Take a step back. Take your shoes off. Then you have little Johnny over here going, "Mommy, mommy, 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 mommy," and you're just going, "Oh, please go away, please go away, please go away. I just want to watch my soap operas, or something like that." So should you then turn to Johnny and say, "Johnny, come here," and you put Johnny on your lap and start spanking his butt? Tell him to be quiet? Or you sit there and scream at Johnny, "Johnny, shut up!" Or you sit there and shove Johnny out of the way? Do you think that is good behavior? Do you think that's going to tell Johnny to not do that behavior again? Because Johnny will do that again. He'll do it even. He'll think it's a reward. Because he'll think, if I make Mommy mad, Mommy does a response. I can antagonize Mommy. So, let's rewind that. If you take the more calm approach, here comes Johnny, walking up to you, saying, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, mommy." No physical altercations, no spanking, no hitting, no raising of the voice, just calm. Breathe. And he told Johnny, "Johnny, Mommy is watching a soap opera. I've had a long day. What do you want?" Very calm voice. You de-escalate the situation. Everything's cool, everything's relaxed and chilled, and Johnny will tell you, "I made a stinky. I just pooped my pants," or something like that. You say, "Okay." You pause the recording of your show, or you turn off the TV, you take care of the kid, and then you come back and then you watch your show. I know it might not be a perfect thing, but hey, if you practice it, if you practice that certain parenting etiquette, it will become a habit. As we know, habits are very hard to break. So then, when you're raising your child with that certain habit in mind, that will typically lead your child to adopt your parenting style of being calm, of not escalating a situation further, but de-escalating the tension, not stretching out the rubber band, but just leaving it limp. Not pulling so hard it snaps, but just leaving it limp. The way I'm going to raise my children is the latter. I'm not going to get angry at them. I'm not going to hit them. Heavens, no. I may be so stressed out of my mind to where I feel it's the easy way out. I can just spank my little bugger. No. No. De-escalating the situation is always a better alternative.